Warrior and the managing committee members, we are delighted to extend a warm welcome to all the members to this one-day CP seminar on bank audit. We have South Indian Bank as our event sponsor and EVM Skoda as the associate sponsor. All the delegates are kindly requested to rise for a silent prayer. Thank you. I request CA Ranjita Warrior, Chairman of Ernakulam Branch, to escort CA Premnath D, Speaker of the first technical session, to the dais. May I also call upon our Chairman to welcome the gathering.
Very good morning to all the respected members and participants that we have here today. Without much ado, we'll straight away go into the session. It is indeed a proud moment for all of us at the managing committee to be hosting this bank audit seminar here today in a physical mode. We have with us Premnath sir, who's been taking tremendous efforts in the cause of bank audit. Day before yesterday, you might have seen him live. He was doing the session for PDC on a virtual platform. Yesterday he was in Mangalore. Today he is here. Tomorrow he is off to Ahmedabad, then to Rajkot. So he's been doing this for years now. I'm given to understand. A big welcome to this gentleman here today, Premnath sir from Hyderabad. May I invite and request Past Chairman P.T. Joy sir to kindly present a floral bouquet to our esteemed speaker here. Over to you, Alan.
Thank you, Chairman. CA Premnath D is a partner of Messrs. Ram's technical session on integrated bank audit procedures. CA Premnath to kindly commence the session.
Very good morning to one and all. Respected senior members, branch management committee members, my dear colleagues. At the outset, I thank Ranjit sir and P.T. Joy sir, who has made this possible for me to be here. So let's move straight into the session. The views expressed in this lecture are purely my personal. This discussion, the content of my presentation is not vetted or approved by ICAI, any of the committees. Content used in this lecture is from public domain. Certain content used in Excel are purely imaginary, not real. Any resemblance of that names with some of the companies or whatever it is, it's purely incidental and it's not intentional. My presentation is not for commercial purpose, for education training purpose. Yeah. So let's start with ICAI Code of Conduct. Every word of ICAI Code of Conduct is borrowed from Bhagavad Gita. Every word, for that matter. Okay. In what way Code of Conduct we need to discuss today in bank audit? That might be the issue for someone. But the issue is, today we are signing an audit report. In that audit report, we are making so many promises in that. So many assertions we are giving it in audit report. Let me take you to few of those and then I'll come back to it. I'll keep changing here and there. It might be a small inconvenience plus, so please bear with me. So this is the audit report. We make promises in this audit report. There's an SBI last year audit report. The content is The formats have not changed. But the point what I am trying to highlight here is we are independent in accordance with ICI, with the code of conduct and together. This is what we are saying. So what does this code of conduct says? One very small issue. Code of quality control, standards on quality control is a part of code of ethics. Auditing standards is a part of code of ethics. We say that yes, I have followed all this. Now what is this code of ethics? Code of ethics is nothing but Bhagavad Gita. For us. In what way? Let us just take two slokas and then take it forward. The very first sloka of the Bhagavad Gita starts with Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsava mamaka pandavas chaiva kim kurvata sanjayaha. The meaning is Dhritarashtra, you know, he is blind. Sanjaya is knowledgeable. The Dhritarashtra, blind means ignorance, like stakeholders. That stakeholder was asking Sanjaya, who is a brilliant man, like chartered accountants. So he is asking an audit report on the Kurukshetra field. Dhritarashtra is asking an audit report to the Sanjaya. That is the first sloka it starts with. Okay. Instead of reading it from the actually what happened, if I start reading this in another interpretative manner, if I can read it as Kuru, Kuru is to do. Kuru is do. What should I do? Do dharma. Where? At kshetre, kshetre. Meaning, the very first part of Bhagavad Gita is saying, you do your dharma at every place. That is what our code of conduct is also saying. Do professional, be professional. Where? Everywhere, even in house or on the traffic. I hope we all understand that if I start quarreling with my wife, not possible, that's a different story. But she can go and file a case on me in the DC about my behavior in the house. I hope you are clear about this. If I violate some rules on the traffic island, DC can proceed against me. I hope you are aware about all these issues. Meaning the ICI code parallelly runs with Bhagavad Gita. So why should I do all these things, being a professional? The another sloka in second chapter it says, Karmanye vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbhu mate sangostya karmani. Meaning it says, you do your action, that's all. For what? Generally it is for fees. But we know in our code of conduct also, it says, don't run behind the fees. Don't charge the fees depending on the volume of the benefit the other person gets. I hope you can draw parallels to ICI code of conduct and to the Bhagavad Gita. With that, I thought I can start this. Let's take it forward. But remember, I have started with auditing standards and code of conduct. That is, in auditing standards and code of conduct, in the audit report, we are making very tall promises. Today, regulators are interpreting every promise we make. I'll demonstrate that. The regulator who is like the Yamadharma Raja today, the NEFRA, he has charged the noted firm in the world. I don't want to name that brother's professional colleague, but it is in the public domain. 25 lakhs is charged on them with 7 years. For what? For making tall promises in the audit report, and the documentation is not in support of the promises made on the audit report. I'll take you through all those things and then accordingly I will move ahead. So in this, as I said, auditing standards, which is a dharma for us. Let us understand and take that parallelly with the bank audit. So for a bank audit is on CBS, that CBS is Finacle and banks, and the other one is data extraction and analysis. Why data extraction and analysis? Why data extraction and analysis is, today I cannot understand CBS from the white box approach. White box approach, we all know that I have to open the total programming code which runs into thousands of pages and find out what can go wrong by reading black and white all those syntaxes which runs into thousands of pages. Highly impossible for a chartered accountant. Then what should I do? Indirectly, you look at the data, make data analysis, and go work backwards and find out what can go wrong if this report is generated like this, meaning somewhere something could have gone wrong, like black box approach. Somewhere, I think 6-7 months back, there was a flight accident nearby to this Kozhikode, I think. The black box was retrieved and they were trying to find out what went wrong, because with naked eyes no one has seen what has gone wrong. So by data analytics only today you can find out what is going wrong in CBS, for example. For example, you can see this is a CC limit of this borrower, and this is taken on a different dates for the same borrower. On different dates this report is generated, and I have tried to put it in one place, and the report is saying that the limit is equal to drawing power on any given day. Any number of times I take this report for any number of customers, at any given point of time you find the limit is equal to drawing power. Possible, sir? Possible, sir? What is limit? Limit is fixed based on the crazy projections given by the borrower. Then what is drawing power? Drawing power is actual situation prevailing as on the date of submitting the stock statement. Then how can limit be equal to the crazy figures and the actual situations given? What is drawing power? Accepted debtors, accepted stock minus accepted creditors. That is drawing power. Meaning on any given day if you are generating this report, if it is saying limit is equal, meaning you mean to say if my sales is 360 crores, meaning every day 1 crore I am generating. Is it possible? Is this a Shukla and Grewal textbook problems? No. So what? So what is, our auditing standard says professional skepticism. This is the word I am using. This is the promise I am making in the auditing report. This is the promise I am making in the audit report, that as a part of audit in accordance with standards, we exercise professional judgment, maintain professional skepticism when throughout the audit, I look at tons and tons of data. It says I need to be professional skepticism when I'm looking at data. Now this is the data I'm looking at. Did I raise any question here? Did I raise any question to the those charged with governance, SA 265? Did I ask them? Did I give a report? Audit note, why this is happening? Drawing power and limit cannot be same forever and ever. At least on one single day also it cannot be equal, because it is based on projections. This is based on actuals. So that is what today regulatory authorities are questioning. So now I said data analytics. I made a data analytics. Just now I have compared with professional skepticism, and I asked a question. He said, sir, in the CBS somewhere, if I click mark, if I highlight, if I click, if I select, if I check box a utility where drawing power should be equal to limit, the system will always print the same, sir. Did I read the white box approach of tons and tons of pages of code? Did I read and came to this conclusion, or I have just seen some two figures as a black box approach and then went back and asked questions and then inquired? I have done black box approach. It's called as audit around the computer. Point again I am making here is, in our today's audit, not specifically to the bank audit, data analytics plays a dominant role to understand the controls. Again, why should I understand controls suddenly for this bank audit? If you read the revised LFAR, it talks about controls, 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 and controls. So if I have to understand controls, I can't read thousands of pages of CBS. I can only understand through the data analytics. That data analytics will take up. So this is what I have stated now. The revised LFAR is more on the controls. It is more on the controls. What controls? Preventive, detective, corrective, and compensative. So theoretically or practically, I need to understand what is this preventive, what is detective, what is corrective, and what is compensative. I need to understand this. So probably which these things I have learnt in IPCC stage, but I am again revisiting now to compare what's going on today in this country. If I have to compare that preventive, detective, corrective, and compensative. In Delhi last year, probably February, in Delhi, in Nizamuddin area, in one place people have all come together for certain religious purposes. Some of them were carrying that corona unknowingly or otherwise, and that got spread. But before that, there was a central government Ministry of Home Affairs ruling that people should not meet at one place, they should take permission. All those preventive, washing hands and then mask was all there. That preventive steps was not followed at the time. So what happened? Risk occurred. So that's what I'm saying here, risk and controls go together. If I have to understand accounting today, if I know debit and credit, accounting is easy. In the same way, if I have to understand audit, first I should know what is risk and control. And that's the reason why LFAR is fully talking about controls, meaning if I have to understand controls, first I should know the risk. And I will know the risk only after making a SA 315 material misstatement by understanding the environment and the entity. Then only I can understand what a risk, and then controls will come after that. Okay. Now after that incidents, what has happened is that the pandemic got spread across, because the people who met there got spread across the country, and they have identified those people, they have detected who made this. As a corrective measure, they have quarantined, and that is how it gone on. So what is my role in the audit today? My role in the audit today, as per the LFAR, I need to understand the controls. Controls means preventive, detective, corrective, compensative, and accordingly see whether risk has occurred or not, and risk has occurred, then I have to report it as a modification, modified report, or emphasize, or whatever it is, we have to do it. So this is control. But now another important one here is the impact of technology on the controls is very important today. So much of development today. So I need to understand even those, because at some places in banking, robotics are used. Like in some places, blockchain is used. For LC processing, some banks have started using blockchain. Blockchain reduces the gaps between buyer and seller, seller and advising bank, buyer and issuing bank, and various authorities linked to all these processes. They are all on one platform today, like GSTN, like the income tax. They are all now slowly coming to one place. And that's the reason why somewhere someone does a fraud, and this is highlighted in no time. So in the same way, banks are also slowly moving. If they are moving into these positions, and if the financial transactions are moving in those things, I need to understand whether those control lapses will have an impact on the financial statements. Now, really, this is not the latest development. This has been there for a much longer time. This is a HDFC Bank which is having EVA and virtual assistants. This I am talking about artificial intelligence, bot and machine learning. Now you can just see here 2.7 million customer queries interacted, over 530 unique users with 1.2 million conversations. The height is, with 0.4 seconds, they have handled 1 lakh queries from 17 countries. A machine is handling. And as the machine is handling, it is recording and making analysis and developing the software on its own based on the questions that it is coming up. Now these kind of processes are used in the financial statements somewhere. Now what is my role? My role is to understand what can go wrong in these processes which has a material misstatement on the balance sheet. So today I need to understand all these things as a part of, this is the machine. Okay, be that as it is. Now coming back. So today we'll talk on how should I carry out audit online. So for that, what data I should ask them, how do I arrange all those data. So I am asking more than 96 lines of information I am asking the banker. So if I ask that, is he providing me? If he provides me, how do I track them? How do I analyze them? And after analysis, what kind of observations I'll get? For that observations, what impact will be there? Such impact, where should I record and report, is what we need to understand on the online audit. Then, as I have already stated, we have to understand manual system or preventive, detective, corrective or compensating controls. Then we'll understand this from the control study. With a case study we'll take. I'll take 2 or 3 screenshots of the bank software, and then we'll understand those preventive, detective, corrective controls we'll understand. Then all that we will try to understand from the CBS reports. For CBS report analysis, we have only one tool called Excel, which is freely available, not only on the laptop, but this is also available on mobile phones now. So with this Excel, we can find out detection of frauds, hidden MPAs, diversions. So, but whole of my office wants to work on a single platform today. So we'll use Google spreadsheet, and then we'll carry out. By taking all these things today, we'll try to understand and make it more practical. Yeah. So I said audit is risk and controls. Risk is already there in the banking. The magnitude of risk is our Indian GDP. If I have to understand banking business, I have to understand the Indian GDP. Indian GDP, as per the latest figures, is 203.89 lakh crores. Now where this money is going? All this money is going through banking only. Every rupee generated is moving through banks only. That banks we are expressing true and fair. Such a money, now you have 189.58 lakh crores of bank deposits, and credit is 100 lakh crores is credit remaining outside. NPAs are 10 lakh crores, banking frauds are 2 lakh crores. 2 lakh crores, not a small amount. 10 lakh crores is declared only, undeclared we don't know. 2 lakh crores is only declared, undeclared. Still there is so much of money under investigation, which is not reported. Still IBC, still forensic audits are on the, it's still continuing. We don't know. Meaning what? Meaning there are control weaknesses in the banking system. This time LFAR is very specific. I'm very much worried. The wordings that are used in it, I'll take you for most of the LFAR points, what kind of Excel analytics we need to carry out. I'll demonstrate that. So I am just trying to focus more on the environment in which bank is working and the impact on the audit field we need to understand. That's the reason why I've put it here. Again, RBI, even yesterday, I think yesterday central bank 89 crores of amount is understated with the NPAs. Then I'll come back to that. Now we can just see here, these are all the penalties levied by RBI for so many banks. All banks are, you can see almost all the banks here. You can see almost all the banks in this. For what? Why these penalties were levied? These penalties were levied for non-compliance or violations in this. 4 days back, SBI, 2 crores of penalties levied on SBI by RBI for violating that commission norms on the salaries. They paid commission to the employees on the business, which is prohibited by the RBI. Now there is an overstatement now. Meaning controls lapses were there. Manual, which control? Preventive control? Yes, preventive. Detective control lapse. Manual or system? Both manual and system lapses are there, which gone undetected. Then what the auditor was doing? Auditor, whether is there any role for an auditor to verify this? Yes. Which act, which standard says? SA 250 says laws and regulations governing the audit and financial statements. I didn't comply, but I am making in the audit report a statement that I have complied with all the auditing standards. But here you can see the revised LFAR, you will find all those violations here in this. The violations that are mentioned here is being covered in the revised LFAR. They are asking, is it there? Is there a diversion of funds? Whether frauds were reported, whether SWIFT is integrated, whether FEMA is complied, detection of frauds, KYC, anti-money laundering. Oh my God. On a one full page of LFAR is dedicated to frauds only. It is asking, is there any invoices manipulation? I'm worried. All the frauds they've taken into one paragraph and then put it into LFAR. They are saying, you do this. You know, when I have completed forensic audit course of institute, when I have completed the ESA course of institute, I was blaming ICI that the ICI is not giving me any work. RBI is not recognizing me. Now RBI says, "Arey, don't bother re bhaiya." As a part of bank audit, you do forensic audit, you do IS audit, you do whatever you wanted, you do it in LFAR now. To that extent, it is widened. I'll come back to all those things. Now, NPS, this is what I am saying. Today, I opened the newspaper, I see 89 crores central bank and SBI, meaning, is NPS system driven? Is this only to public sector banks? No, even private sector banks. So looking at all these things, I get a doubt now whether NPAs are system driven. Let us see this. How automatic, how auditors are making their opinion on this. As a part of key audit matters, SBI last year has clearly stated SBI is saying on its main audit report signed by 13 auditors, it says identification and performing of non-performing advances involving establishment of proper mechanism is done through CBS. It is saying which also identifies whether advances are performing or non-performing. It stopped there and said further, CBS can do, but further NPA classification and provisioning is done in CCDP. Accounts in one platform, NPAs on another platform, whether both are integrated, manually, system. If it is system, then why this? If this is system, then why this? After so many thousands of auditors have conducted the audit and given a true and fair, after that the RBI takes a small laptop and connects to their central server, runs a program, they get all these. It says carrying value of these advances may be materially misstated. Not may be materially misstated, is materially misstated. The point is, this year there is a very specific item on the LFAR. It is asking, is it manual, maker checker, system driven? I need to answer to all these issues. Now, okay. Then what did you do as a central statutory auditor? As a central statutory auditor, I have relied on an expert. What am I doing as a branch auditor? So why should I bother? Central statutory auditor saying reliance is placed on the central branch auditors. And branch auditors is relying on whom? Did I write anywhere in my LFAR or in my main report that I have relied on the system? At any given point of time, how many of us have seen an ESA audit of a branch or a bank? Was it any time handed over? No. But this time, they are asking specific question. So this bank audit is going to be really very enjoying bank audit. Well, let us see that. Now coming back again. So with this, we'll stop with controls and go on to the practical issues. Supreme Court in Amrapali case has stated these kind of words onto the banking system. It says no monitoring done by the officials. Even basic checks, end use of funds were foregone. No technical requirements followed while releasing term loans. Banks acted as mute spectator to unapproved diversions, almost happening evidently in all banking transactions. I have to comment on all these things in revised LFAR now. That is the beauty now. IS audit. Now we were saying that now. They have relied on the IS auditor. They have relied on the IS auditor. What is that IS audit? Inadequately scoped. It lacks coverage of end-to-end testing covering all interfaces. There is no testing of configuration controls, input control, process control, completeness, validation, accuracy, reference, validity, calculation, segregation of duty, what not. Who knows about all this? Bank audit is a honeymoon audit sanctioned by the RBI at any age group continuously every year, because it's 3 days. If I ask a ledger, he gives roasted coconut, roasted cashew nuts. If I ask a ledger, he gives coconut water, cold drinks. He takes me to a big hotel far away, 20-30 kilometers. By the time I come back, bank is closed. Sir, corona hai, ab jao jaldi. My 3 days is just like that over. So let's come back and then see how we need to face this. So I am anyhow circulating all this content. So wherever only reading, I'll not read it, I'll explain. So rest you can understand. Now coming back. The most dangerous thing, why I'm very specific on the controls, is look at the way just a moment, I'm just opening the just a moment. Yeah. This is what today yeah, NEFRA is looking at. This is the language that is used by the NEFRA on an audit processes on a very big audit firm. NEFRA has extensively studied IT process and platform that are used by that firm for audit file documentation. It found that IT process and platform have deficiencies, systematic and structural in nature, and arise from a complete disregard to the IT security and software. This makes the audit documentation completely unfit for intended purposes. This is the kind of rough language used on the audit documentation of a world leading firm. And this is what it says. You are making key assertions that you have conducted audit in accordance with SAs standards. If during subsequent review of the audit, if it is found that the audit procedures detailed in standards on auditing were not complied, in fact, it tantamount to auditor making deliberately false statements, criminal case. And hence they levy 25 lakhs and 7 years they are barred them. Sir, banks are coming under NEFRA. Now, if on a very big firm you are like that, now what is that audit software I am using in my office? Except Winman, Sinman, Taxman, Genius. Those are all tax filing tools. They are not audit tools per se. 4 or 5 days back, there is a very crazy news article. I audit, 30 seconds, 3 months audit is over. Foolish statement by a large firm employee, a chartered accountant who made it and came onto the newspapers, and newspapers also published it. What audit means 30 seconds. Who will do 30 auditing standards compliance? Who will do that? Now, it's high time that the auditing profession should wake up and tell them, "Arey, audit is not 3 seconds. Audit is 30 standards. 30 standards cannot be complied in 30 seconds. Now, people are crazy running behind them. I'll pay 1 lakh, give me that software to me. We'll understand what an audit software should have, what processes should go on in that. It's not this, let's not run behind that 30 seconds. This awareness is not coming up, and then the regulators are running behind like this. No, I can just show you. This is 183 pages document. In fact, 183 pages document. They have read every line of the auditing standard. They are asking paragraph number A23, show me the document how you have conducted the audit. So this is how the regulators are running behind the auditors today. And hence, whatever tools we have today, how best we can put use and protect our risk, let us try to understand. Right. Now we'll come to the core point. Audit, planning. Audit start with planning, execution, documenting, reporting. Now, where is this planning happening? Is it on the same application? Like, is my planning done in Excel or in MS Word or on a paper? Okay, I have done some planning in MS Excel. I have started executing. What execution? All the standards. All the standards I am executing. While I am executing, how am I executing these auditing standards? On a paper, on MS Word, on Excel, on any software? No. Planning is done by a partner on a piece of paper. Execution is done by an article student somewhere sitting on his own laptop or on a Word or a Excel or on a Google Drive or on a scribbling pad like this. Then comes to the document. Where is this documentation happening? Documentation is happening on multiple laptops which are not synced together. And how is reporting done? Reporting is done again on a MS Word, meaning my planning, my execution, my documenting, my reporting are not synced onto a single platform. Like if in a Tally, if I open Tally, go to the gateway of Tally, hit onto the balance sheet, I can drill down to the last part of the voucher. If I express an opinion in the CARO, fixed asset register is maintained. If I click on that paragraph, will it take me to the last stage of my documentation? No. It is not linked. It is spread around multiple pieces of information. Now, how will I submit a document today to a regulatory authority that I have conducted my audit in accordance with generally accepted auditing standards? How will I document? Let us see that. So we have said all this here. So for that, I'll come back now. After finishing this, we'll come back to that. Now, tax audit, sir. What is there in tax audit, sir? Cash payments, loans, TDS, capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, section 37, audit is over. Deductions of ATIA, all those. Audit is over with one certificate, only one certificate, or ATIA or any other deductions or transfer pricing, audit is over. But look at the bank audit landscape. Look at the bank audit landscape. So many certificates we need to give. Risk can happen in any of these certificates, meaning the figures mentioned there may be overstated or understated, may not be true. But first of all, these certificates are linked to which items of trial balance? Do I have a link anywhere? Let us go on to that. So first thing, I am just starting with, okay, let's start with this. I said audit planning. We all know that we have to give an audit engagement letter the day we get the appointment letter. Yes, once the audit, for me, once an audit appointment letter I receive it, that day I will again celebrate Diwali, again I will celebrate Holi. After that, I should send this audit engagement letter. As a part of audit engagement letter, I am asking them 96 pieces of information. Why I am asking all this information? Because every information I am asking is somewhere or other linked to various certificates that I am signing. I am signing hell lot of certificates. For that, certain information is required to me. But without all these things, and further to that, in my audit report, I am saying somewhere that yes, all the information has been provided to me. Somewhere I say in this, all the information has been provided to me. Yes. We have obtained all the information and explanation to the best of our knowledge and belief were necessary for the purpose of our audit. Then EFRA will ask, what are the information that you have called for? Did you ask? If so, where is that? Where is the document? So I come back to this here. So why should I ask information? For what purpose I am asking the information? To report on 96 pieces. Okay, I am asking 96 pieces of information. They will submit the information. Yes, I have obtained from the bank. Did I read? Yes, I read it. Auditor, review comments. I said on the concurrent audit, say for example 12 months concurrent audit, they provided only 10 months. I'll write that 10 months only. In those things, these are all the issues which are not solved. Just reduce the AC. Because the LFAR is very tough, we may get sweating, so the air condition is increased to see that we are all cooled down. Okay, now here I say these reports. Now what should I do? All my observation needs to be communicated to those charged with governance, SA 265. So I have communicated that to the audit. To the management, I have communicated like this, audit note. And then I am asking the management to reply with sufficient appropriate evidence with annexures. Now understand why I am demonstrating this is I am trying to say audit planning, execution, documenting, reporting is happening at one place. This is my ideology. This is the objective. Hence I am trying to bring all that into one place on a single tool called Excel. And this tool will be used by everyone. How everyone can use one single Excel? Drive, whatever working papers you do it, add it to the Google Drive, upload the file. I am selecting that particular file which I have already done it. I don't want to waste your time now. So these are the spreadsheet. So this file will open, then I'll demonstrate it. Meanwhile, we'll go back. Yes, it has opened now. Yeah. So you can see that file what I am referring to. Audit control sheet. So this control sheet, the total Excel file which is having all that planning, execution, documenting, reporting, all which is there in one single file is shared to your resources. Share this to your resources here. 4 or 5 article students or other partners and all will be there. You share to them once they are logged in. Once they log in, you can able to see all of them there, and all of them can start working on this single sheet. I said no, planning is done by one partner, executing, reporting, documenting, multiple people. Now all that will not happen in Excel, in Google Drive. That is what is Zoho. That is what is Pipilio. I am not saying spend money and use all those. I am just saying this is a free tool. Put all in one place. If someone asks you, how did you do? You just take this Excel file and walk into the NEFRA or to any regulator, explain him and come back. Otherwise, you need to carry tons and tons of files, if at all properly arranged anywhere in the office. But here, it is in one place. This is one advantage of following a tool. Okay, come back again. Yeah. The other issue is, when I am issuing so many certificates here, to what is this linked to the basic trial balance? First I should work out that. How do I work on that? So this is a trial balance. This is a trial balance. For this trial balance, I am just linking each item of trial balance. Each item of trial balance is linked through a drop down. What am I going to report on this ledger? What am I going to report on this ledger? What am I going to report on this ledger? If I am reporting on LFAR, in LFAR, which paragraph am I going to report? Now, what point should I refer? What procedures I should do? Or what procedures did I carry out? I'll share this file also, so that you can further develop and elaborate. This is not a ready-made file to be used. You need to develop further more to it. So what I am trying to say here is, when I am trying to give more certificates, I don't even know the numbers. Way back in 2018 or sometime, which was the last audit we have done, there were 108 certificates I have signed for SBI. Now they have reduced it to 45, 46 something. Now what is the control for me? What is the tracker for me? To which ledger account I am signing this? What procedures did I carry on in that? Because someone says the certificate of restructured loans is understated by you. Oh, is it? Now what procedures did I carry out there? Now here, restructured advances is linked to which trial balance? I have to see that. Interest subvention certificate I am giving, it is linked to which certificate, which ledger, what procedures did I check? So that I am discussing on this paper. Okay, further to this. So after this, these are all responsibility, risk, challenge, mitigation we have in doing all these certificates. Mitigation, yes, our responsibility is to give so many certificates. Biggest fun is when I am signing so many certificates here, I may be qualifying here and I may be silent in the main audit report. I may be writing something in the LFAR that frauds are there, NPAs are not properly recognized. I'll write all those things there. When it comes to the main audit report, I am very silent. Whether my audit procedures or a tracker has a capability to track and prevent me from giving a wrong report, like in your tax filing utilities, under 80C, if you type 1 crore of deduction you are trying to ask, it says it doesn't allow. There is a preventive control. Now whether such kind of preventive controls are there in my office, because today we are working more based on the article students who are not regular. So we need to have some procedures well defined in the office on a software kind of a thing. And that's the reason why I'm stressing too much on some tools we need to use today. Okay, coming back again. So I am saying here, for mitigation you can use all these. I'll demonstrate 5 of these functions today. Yeah, right. So in LFAR we are talking about controls as a part of audit. I'll just in 2 minutes of time we'll finish this audit process. The total audit process, we are talking about assertion, check controls, risk of material misstatement. Checking controls is through audit test, that is compliance test and substantive test. That is what we have already understood. We'll understand much deeper now with more practical examples. And if you find out there are any control weaknesses, it will hit material misstatement. You observe, send an audit note to those charged with governance. If they agree, ask them to make a modification, MOC. If they are not agreeing, you may emphasize or qualify. For all this process, there should be a documentation. So assertions and checking controls is all part of planning, execution, documenting and reporting. All that 4 pillars of audit is captured in this. Let's take a practical example now. Yeah. This is a form for creating master of a borrower or a deposit holder. Now what can go wrong? I said no, risk and controls. Risk. Risk is what? The other name for risk is what can go wrong. What can go wrong while I am creating a name? Instead of creating Rohit Kumar Singh, intentionally or otherwise, I may create a name as Singh Rohit Kumar. What happens? There will be a duplication. Why this is done intentionally or otherwise? Like say this Rohit Kumar Singh account is already existing in the branch for the past 10 years. 10 years back there was no Aadhaar, there was there was a PAN, this fellow has not taken a PAN, he has opened this account Rohit Kumar Singh with a voter ID. Now today the Rohit Kumar Singh has a PAN card or an Aadhaar and the name on that is Singh Rohit Kumar. With that, branch management has opened another loan account with Singh Rohit Kumar without linking to the already existing name, intentionally or otherwise. A new account is created. Meaning a new unique ID is created. If a new unique ID is created for the existing customer, if one account becomes bad, whether the other account will automatically become bad? No. Meaning what? Because of the internal control procedures laid in this, there is a process weakness where it can raise to material misstatement where advances may be overstated, provisioning may be understated, profit is overstated, loss is understated. Why? Because of control weakness in name creation. What control weakness? Preventive control weakness. What is preventive control? We all know when you are trying to create a DIN number, while you write a name, it goes and verifies the name with the PAN number. If the name is as per PAN number, only then the DIN number is allowed to be created. There is a well preventive control. But here, is this happening? I'll demonstrate. Just a moment, please. So there is one file where you will, I have documented it, we have seen it in one audit, where same customer, bank employee is having multiple IDs. Okay, I am not able to show it, but the point is, okay, I'll just demonstrate here. Right. there are chances of multiple IDs getting created because of the process lapse. Even you say that the Aadhaar is there, income tax is there, IT is there, but still this is going on. No, for an individual, there are multiple 5 types of IDs are taken as a KYC, but for corporates, there is only one SIN number. For that corporates also, we have seen multiple IDs existing. Maybe olden days they have created and still they have not linked all those. That is not a big issue. Now, all that 23 banks have become 7 banks now. Andhra Bank and Union Bank have merged. In some cities, physically the location of one branch and the location of the another branch now has come into one location. The customer has taken a housing loan in Union Bank, the customer has taken a car loan in Andhra Bank. Now both are not getting unique IDs now, still going on, process is on. Now we have to verify those things where they have come together. Okay, be that as it is. The point what I am trying to demonstrate here is, there is a possibility that the name can be misspelled or a name is already existing, a new name can be created, a new ID can be created. So what kind of procedures I am following here to see that there are no duplicates? So after taking the dump of all the customers in one Excel file like this I am just taking an example. How do I find out duplicates? One thing we all know, we will sort the names. Now when I have sorted the name, you can observe here, one time name is created with and the other time the name is created without and, intentionally or otherwise. This with sorting you can able to find out. But what about this name here, Muhammad Zahuruddin, and you come back here, you will find another name, Zahuruddin Muhammad. Abhinandan Golecha is one name here, and somewhere you will find another name, Golecha Abhinandan, somewhere you will find it. Now how do I find that? A small tool like this, fuzzy lookup. A small tool like fuzzy lookup in Excel you can download from Google and attach it. And I am taking table A, comparing with table A again. I am saying you find out 2 duplicate names and post it here, I am saying, and then I am saying run this. Now once I have run this utility here, you can see here AM Agencies, there is only one name called AM Agencies. However, you can see here Jyoti Garment and Manufacturer name is there, and Jyoti Garment and Designer, there is another name called Jyoti Manufacturer Garment Designer without and here. I hope you are able to see how this system is mapping. In any combination the name is there. Further, you can see here GrapeSoft solution, it is taking a soft lab solution because most of the name, part of the name is resembling in any order. It has pulled it here and says, is this also something related? Okay, then Muhammad Zahuruddin and Zahuruddin Muhammad. Again, Abhinandan Golecha, Golecha Abhinandan. Meaning, I am not saying as on today this is happening, maybe or may not be. But if it has happened at any point of time and still this is going on, then how do I find out within the branch? Fuzzy lookup. Now why should I do this? Because somewhere in the LFAR I am talking about the KYC norms. I am giving a positive assurance somewhere in LFAR. Okay. Now this is one operation. Okay. Another operation. We all know that every customer will have a phone number. So I am trying to find out for one phone number how many bank accounts are linked. How do I find out? select insert pivot table. Pivot table, I have already made it here. So when I have done that pivot table, you can see here this phone number is linked to 185 accounts. One phone number is linked to 185 accounts. What is happening to the professional skepticism? So what? Why should I bother about this? I'll come back. Now, you see here Abhinandan Golecha and Golecha Abhinandan. This Abhinandan Golecha is a director in this private limited, partner in this, director in this, proprietor of this, and this person is same and is having 185 accounts linked to one phone number. So what? So what is? I have taken all these accounts, copies, soft copies, and pasted in Excel one below another, one below another, one below another in this fashion. So let me sort this first. I am sorting on column A. So what happened? All 485 is one account number which is running into 2000 lines for full year. After that, you can find here all 485. Now you find 449, 181, 307, 669, all those accounts which are linked in this is taken and put it one below another, and after that I am sorting on, now it is sorted on account number wise. Now I am sorting this on date wise. Column B is date. So I am sorting on column B. Now what happens? On one particular day, how the amounts were revolving within the account holders, you can see here. 25 lakhs is gone to the 776 account here, 776 account here. 25 lakhs has come here. Out of that, cash 15 lakhs is withdrawn, and you can see 485 cash is deposited 14.5. I don't know the nature of these transactions because this nature will not be written there. But however, most important thing in the revised LFAR, let us see that. This is what I am worried now. Frauds. May lead to perpetuation of fraud, falsification of accounts, false representation, funds especially through related party, shell company, forgery, fabrication of financial documents, debtors list, stock statements, use of current accounts outside consortium, diverting the funds, list of debtors, creditors which are fabricated, fake exporting bills, overstatements, round tripping. Where all this? All this on revised LFAR. What should I write here? Yes? As usually for the past 20 years, I have a habit of writing yes, no, NA in the LFAR. NA is not aware. What not aware? Question is not aware, not the answer. Because 3 days honeymoon audit, where do I have so much of time? After eating so much of roasted cashew nuts, I may fall sick also. Meaning, you can just see what kind of procedures we need to carry out and document that. Implementation of KYC. This is what we have just now seen now. It is saying system and processes are required. Ensure adherence. Whether branch has adequate systems and processes. Hurry, what is this, sir? Now for this only, I have listed down 96 points of information. While going to the bank audit, I will pray God, please see that the banker doesn't give any information to me for audit. Why? Because with one line of sentence, I will complete the audit. No information is provided, hence I am unable to express my opinion. Take my fees, go happy. The moment they start giving information, we have to carry out much work here. Okay. Like this, there's so many things. Let me come back again. Right. Now you can, the revised LFR opening statement of the RBI document, it is talking about, it is saying system and process to be checked. Transaction detailing needs to be done. Transaction detailing. I'll come back to one of the loan account verification. It says verification of data integrity and data related control system. That is what we are seeing now here. Remember, that is what I am talking now here. Specific thrust on those data input which are to be used at corporate office level for supervisory supporting purposes. Come back here again. Now you can see here in this, there are related party. This is a group account, and this there is a scope here for the banker to make this is a group account. It is not mentioned anything here. And further you can write here beneficial owners. Further you can write beneficial owners. You can see most of the columns are not filled in. Like in our tally, create conveyance account, under ledger fixed assets, control A, gone. You don't fill anything in that. That is how our clients are using. They don't structure GST in tally, they don't structure TDS in tally. Lot of controls are there in tally, not used like CBS only. Bank is also using CBS like tally. We can see that. But now, revised LFR is asking to comment on all those processes. Now it doesn't stop here. Now, what should I say here now for this? I should say that there is a control weakness. This column is not made as a mandatory, and hence the related party transactions, the system is not able to capture and verify. There are manual maker and checker controls, but they were not working in Punjab National Bank for 14 years. No, Nirav Modi gone away with 14,000 crores. 12 years maker and checker was not working in Punjab National Bank. Will never work. Maker and checker will never work. Manual systems, no. First of all, in banks today, who is employed? All engineers are employed. Young engineers are employed today. They don't know what a debit and credit. We are struggling hard to convince them. While I do a stock audit to explain him, he says, "Arey sir, don't write all these things, sir. You are writing all these things. You came with a recommendation, I gave you stock audit. After giving you are writing so many things. I have to reply to all these things. Sir, please don't write all this." Openly saying. We are doing one ASM audit. That fellow says, "Sir, please don't write, sir. Next time I will not give you this audit." I said, "Namaste, please don't give me. Because I am struggling to answer all these replies. The borrower will not listen. Borrower will get a call from the MP. The point here is that maker and checker controls manuals are very weak, and we have to comment on the LFR. Now this is one issue. Not only this, you can just see here the control lapse here. It's saying cash exception debit and credit, the amount here is 1 lakh crores. If you don't meddle with this, 1 lakh crores of cash can be deposited and withdrawn. It is not illegal. It is my own cash, I will deposit. But Jan Dhan Yojana account, the way in which the account is structured is cash payments or receipts in that account for more than 50,000 will not be allowed. Banking Regulation Act. But you know, during the demonetization time, there is 25,000 crores of cash is deposited in Jan Dhan Yojana accounts in West Bengal itself. How? This control weakness. Now I have to talk about that in LFIR, because it is asking specifically there. Now you can see one more case, Bank of Baroda. We all know this. 6,000 crores of cash was deposited in 38 current accounts opened in Kanpur by a group of people having same phone number. That is a fun. And these 38 private limited companies formed on 1 week, opened in one branch. Branch manager is not getting any doubt. Professional skepticism. And they have deposited 6,000 crores, gone to the Ashok Vihar branch of New Delhi. There they have issued DDs to which countries? Hong Kong, Malaysia, United Arab. I hope you know much more about that gold issues and all here than I know more. Then UAE, Punjab National Bank. To which countries? China, Singapore, Malaysia. Why those countries? Because the foreign currency regulations, import-export procedures are liberalized in those countries for the reasons best known to them. And our people have taken an advantage of that and started issuing 1 lakh US dollars. Why 1 lakh US dollars? Because up to 1 lakh US dollars, no documentation will be asked. Thanks to Chidambaram, at his time this has come. And this was used, rather misused. How you could have prevented? You could have prevented this if 1 lakh cash is deposited or a cash is deposited, you would have asked at that particular point why this cash is deposited. I hope now you understand. Sir, if for simple 4 screens we are talking, for 4 screens we are talking so much, there are thousands of screens in banking system. Now we can understand the depth of bank audit. Now this is all from the controls point of view. Now why we are carrying out all these controls are as a part of compliance test. If compliance controls are weak, substantive test has to be enlarged. That is what we have seen now. I have read many number of files. I have analyzed many number of content of the data. Why? Because the compliance controls are weak. So substantive test I have done more. Then what did I do? I have said that this is going to give rise to material misstatement. I have observed, I have written a letter, those charged with governance, they have accepted, provided for it. Not accepted, either qualify or put it in as an emphasized matter. What are all these? These are all nothing but your auditing standards. Where did I do all these things? All these things I have done it as a part of planning, executing, documenting and reporting. Where did I do all that? All that I have done it in one Excel sheet. Where is this Excel sheet? Linked in the Google Drive. This Google Drive is linked to all the resources in the office so that all the workings are coming on to one single place. Yes, this is about it. I have 2 more major issues of validating 2 types of accounts, that is CC account and term loan. I'll carry out that and then I'll leave it. I think I have some time for 10 minutes? 5 to 10. Thank you. Yeah. So straight away we'll go into that documents. So first I'll start with CC account. Yeah. So this is a CC account statement. Remember, revised LFAR is asking so many procedures. As a part of that, I am doing this. I have dumped the CC account into Excel. This is very easy. You can convert a text file. Nowadays, all files they are giving it in Excel, not a botheration at all. So what I have done is, after dumping here, I want to validate whether the closing balance, I am trying to validate here whether the closing balance is greater than or less than the limit or drawing power, whichever is lower, because that is what is the RBI circular on the IRAC norms. How do I do this? First of all, I should know what is the drawing power. So I am going to the drawing power. So I make a pre-templates along with this working paper. The file what you are seeing now is a demo file for sharing on the bank audit. I have just made some templates before I go to the bank. And what should I enter? What am I entering here? Only this much I am entering for 12 months. For one borrower, one CC borrower, it is around 57, say 60. 10 borrowers I will make, 10 into 60, 600 entries. Maximum one full day, one article student or office assistant will sit on the 12 months of data for 10 customers, 10 borrowers, and fill the data into this formats. Then what happens? The drawing power calculation is automatic here. Okay. I'll take that and link it here with VLOOKUP. Don't worry, I am sharing all these files to you. I have written a formula here. I am saying drawing power or limit. You remember we have seen one of the report where drawing power is equal to limit always. So I have changed my procedure here to see that whether that system calculation is correct or not. I am validating here. So I am done here, and now I am checking here with, I write another formula here is equal to if this closing balance and limit is 7.5 lakhs. That is what the system is doing. It is not talking about drawing power, because drawing power is equal to limit. That is how that system is checked. But now I am also doing the same error here with limit. And now when I have seen it, it is saying all within the limit. For every day it is saying within limit. Okay, come back. Whether it is exceeded anywhere, let me just check. Somewhere it is exceeded. When it is exceeded, I have to see whether it is greater than 90 days continuously. So for that again I have written one formula here. Don't bother about these formulas, I am circulating it. Yeah. Now, how many days it is exceeded continuously? 45 days. After that it has come back. Okay. Now let us see here. Oh, 80 days. 88 days exceeded continuously. Then suddenly 2.77 crores amount is coming in from this account number. What is this account number? I already have a list of all the deposit holders and customers accounts here of that branch with numbers. I am using VLOOKUP here to find out who is this fellow, is equal to VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP to this number. The file is deposit. Column number 2 and false. With that I came to know that one customer here, Spy, who is also a customer in this, and who is having a loan account, that fellow has given 2.7 crores. When we have gone depth, we have seen that this borrower and this fellow are related. How to find out that, I'll come back to this. But the point here is, this is what very specific in the revised LFAR. A new loan has come here to square off the existing, which is almost coming to 90th day. There is a specific question in LFAR on this, and hence I am doing this procedure. Okay, but the formula what I have written itself is wrong, because I have taken limit but not the drawing power or limit, whichever is lower. Now I'll change this and see what happens. I am changing this and then copy it. After copying it, I'll go back again to see, check. Now earlier we have seen 88 days, now you see it is more than 180, more than 145 days. Now tell me, can I rely CBS way of functioning NPAs? No. So this is how another, let us go back. Now we'll talk about diversions and then come back to the stock statement analysis, because there is one point in the fraud, just now we have seen it. What I'll do is I'll select the total account, insert, again pivot table on this column content wise, how much of payments and received made in a year I want to find out. Column content wise, you remember here HDFC is there, some RS Steel is there, some account numbers are there. Remember this please. Now I have already done here to not to waste your time here. I have done that pivot table here. You can just see here, these are all the names. Okay, I'll just remove this description here. Okay, now you can just see here, you have seen HDFC, no? Let me see what is the impact of HDFC. To HDFC, they have paid 14.31 lakhs during the year. What it will be from a CC account means what it will be? It's nothing but a Mercedes-Benz or some lavish EMI loans going on, serviced from the CC account. Now we have to comment this on the LFAR. Any diversions? Okay. You have seen some numbers there. Okay, one more. Tanishq, he is a steel trader, and the steel trader is making payments to a gold trader. Almost 1.4 crores. Okay, another. So I'll just find out, because there are some numbers, some accounts starting with 10, all that 10 starting, I'm just trying to find out how much money is paid here. You can see here, ₹9 crores net amount taken away from this loan account. By whom? All these parties. Who are all these parties? How do I know whether they have a relation? I'll go back. There is one site called Toffler. I have nothing against this company. I said I'm just trying I have nothing against this company. Just to demonstrate, I am just saying it's only a pure incidental, this name has come here. So this is nothing but, it is from back end, it is taking out the data from ROC and putting it in a more comfortable manner than the ROC way of functioning it. Okay. Now the network, I am clicking on this. Now all the directors linked is coming here. This director is linked in how many companies? This director is linked in how many companies? Whether this director has a common directorship in any of those existing companies in this? Yeah, this director and this director is somewhere linked on one company again here. And this director is linked to here again, like this. So what do you need to do? Export this into Excel. Now take all those names and search for in this database. Yes, you are able to find all of them. Now should I have to do this? Your LFAR is asking you to do this. For how many accounts I have to do it? It is left to the threshold that you make, that your professional skepticism, how much it will guide you, how much of data analysis you have made it, that much of sampling you need to check it into this. We'll stop here and then go back to the stock analysis. This is a stock, I said, pre-templated stock statement. I've just taken it, asked my students to fill it. After that, from here, this is all analysis. What analysis you are able to get here? You can see here, raw material by stock, consumption by stock, and finished goods by stock. 50% is consumables only, rest of it is nothing, insignificant. Meaning on insignificant stock, they are giving loans. But banker is bothered where? Banker is bothered about only these three things. Now in revised LFAR, you need to comment on the quality of verifications. I am not going into all those paragraphs, sentences and all because you already have one more session on it. So, look at this debtors again. I have opening debtors, current month sales, closing debtors. Opening debtors plus sales minus closing debtors is cash collection. But how much of cash is actually deposited in the account if it is only the account maintained? Or cumulative of all the accounts maintained together, cash collections, you can see theoretically the collection should be 10,000, but in actual collections is 7,000, meaning what? Meaning what? This 3,000 is deposited in any other bank? Or debtors are overstated, sales are overstated? Now have you just now not seen that LFAR asking whether the stock statements are fabricated? Debtors list is fabricated, creditors list is fabricated. Again, you have here debtors in days, then because I have opening stock, purchases, blah, blah, all those things I have, I am calculating margin, cost of goods sold and removed by the sales, I get a margin here, the margin is only 7%. How will they cover rest of the expenses? Is this going to have a going concern problem? This borrower. Debtors in days is always less than 300, is greater than 300. Stock is always greater than 600. Yeah. Now what is giving this? Meaning that the way in which bank is analyzing the stock statements is absolutely waste process. And you need to comment today on that on the LFAR. And already I got a warning signal here. I'm just closing it. There is term loan things are there. I'll share all those. All these workings are already there in my in our website. In one of the we have last time, thanks to Corona, we have uploaded more than 40 short videos. Few minutes of audit on YouTube, few minutes of audit on YouTube, me and my friend have done it. You will find all the videos of less than, you can see here all that is 3 minutes, 4 minutes. This is what we have discussed. So this is what we have discussed. This is what we have discussed now. And you have multiple files. You can share this with your staff so that they'll get well trained. And you may ask me, there are so many Excel files here, how do I learn all that? 2 minutes of Excel YouTube channel again, 2 minutes of Excel channel again. You will find again all those in this, And in this we have shared even the template Excel file so that your staff can practice along with the video, and all that I am challenging here, it is around 2 minutes only, which will not eat away your precious time. All 2 minutes. So in this limited amount of time, I could only do this. Thank you very much for your patient listening.